I got a lot of papers, y'all, because I was a school teacher for a while. So I have to be prepared. And I know that's crazy. This is my first time ever doing something like this. I was telling Beth that the only time I ever saw this, it was at Journey. It was overwhelming. It was like music, and the guy that got up and spoke, I just remember he was crazy good. He was funny and captivating. So here I am just meeting, as Jimmy mentioned a month ago, Jimmy. I go to Journey as well. And I met Zach by accident. I was hugging somebody. I hugged this person that comes to Barb at Journey. And she's like, would you might come to speak for Firm Foundation one day? And I was like, yeah, maybe someday. That's how I was like saying to her, someday. Because I'm not, no, not right now. So anyway, what happened was I said, are they hiring at Firm Foundation? She goes, that's volunteer, Angie. So she goes, but this guy Zach knows a lot of people, know a lot of people. So anyway, long story short of that part of the story, I did get to be in this beautiful family, and I'm here to say that I am very anxious tonight because I just saw that guy, and all I could think about was the music and action, and I'm very nervous. So our primary purpose. All right, so I'm grateful to be here, feeling very blessed, and I guess the first thing I want to say is I'm Angie, and I currently have 4.5 years. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. 4.5 years. I feel like I am two people, if you really get to know me, when I look at myself, like this dichotomy. I have the program. I'm a sponsor. I have a sponsor. I'm in the program. I do service. I did a lot of education in my life. I went to school to be a teacher, special ed. I went and got a holistic massage practitioner license. I got my master's in counseling. I did casework for the state of Delaware. And I worked in the autistic program for the state of Delaware, et cetera, et cetera. And then that's Angie 1, right? And then I got Angie 2. And I'm going to give you my rap sheet, all right? I got 2 stints in detox, 2 partial hospitalization programs, 4 intensive outpatient programs I've been in, 4 rehabs, 3 jail terms, 5 DUIs in Delaware, and 1 in Pennsylvania. So when you look at those 2 people, what the heck happened? And that would be straight up alcohol. Alcohol is what happened to me. And so I tell you that to tell you that I feel like I was like this cauldron, this big witch's brew, and I had all this good stuff stirring in me, kindness, loving others, wanting to care about people, et cetera, et cetera. And all these years were going by, and there was this little black seed in the bottom of the cauldron, and that was alcohol. That was my devil. And it possessed me. I was obsessed with it. And I couldn't, I think as Beth was speaking of, you want to talk about a mask. The things that come to my mind when I was going through things, I was arrogant. I never thought of myself as arrogant, but I was arrogant when I look back on my journey. I was control freak when I look back on my journey. And I was in denial for a very long time. So I was the person that's going to be in the back of the big book. I was a low bottom because I needed to get hurt bad. I got to get hurt really bad to get it. I would not surrender to this disease. I would not surrender. So I wrote a little poem last night, kind of a poem. And I'm just give you a little idea. Our primary purpose. So it's called It's Hard to Be. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 22-year-old college grad careening off a hilly roadside, 50 yards short of a dark river, escaping handcuffs of the police. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 25-year-old unwed mother being disowned by your grandpop because you fell in love with someone of another skin color. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 26-year-old special ed teacher getting yourself another DUI after a work party. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 37-year-old in an abusive, 31-year-old in an abusive relationship, pregnant after knowing the guy 30 days with your second child and falling into a situational depression. It's hard to be in your purpose when you are an angry 38-year-old escaping your personal pain and turmoil, and get a DUI on a Sunday, and then you get another one on a Wednesday. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 39-year-old, now burdened down with a felony DUI, and you lose your ability to teach in the classroom. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 41-year-old who goes to 2 months of rehab, a Christian rehab, and only stays clean and sober for 6 months after being taught tough love from your family because they refuse to visit you because they hope you finally get it. Please get it, Ange. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are a 45-year-old who is in so much emotional pain and turmoil. You have 2 hit and runs in the next 3 years to escape DUI charges. I did check on the people, by the way, before I ran. It's hard to be in your primary purpose when you are now 50 years old and you have decimated your family's trust, stomped on their emotions, cheated, deceived your friends, manipulated, lied to everyone around you, broken promises, broken up marriages, betrayed yourself and your spirit over and over again. So that's why my story saddens me. And at 51 years old, I had been seeing Pastor Morgan for about 6 or 7 years, and he kept saying, Angie, you got to sell your house. You got to sell your house. And I didn't want to sell my house because the charade that I was like trying to live, as pathetic as it was, my house was like my home point. That was like my thing that would let people think, how bad can an alcoholic be if she still has her house? How bad of an alcoholic can she be if her kid just went and got a full ride to Lehigh? How bad of a mom can she be? These were the deceitful lies and arrogance that I told myself. I did meet up with AA when I was 20, the first and second DUI. The second DUI, I got a sponsor. I was going to jail for my first time. And I remember her telling me, I'll take you as a temporary sponsor. And she did. But at that time, I kept thinking I was hitting my bottom, but I wasn't even close to my bottom, you know? It's a deceitful and an insidious disease. And that wasn't my bottom, because as you can see from my story, I didn't really want to do a linear story because I kind of like lose people in the linear stories. But you can hear from my story how many bottoms I probably thought I had, but it wasn't enough. So I finally did sell my house. It was right during COVID. And I just want to tell you about my miracle, because if you were my friend during those 25 years, if you were my mother or father during those 25 years, and you saw what's happened to me since I got my sobriety, on January 31st of 2022, you would know that I'm a miracle. I went to, my parents go to Mexico 3 months a year, every year. And in the year of 2021, it was the December they left, and I had just sold my house in June, May and June, I sold my house. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be sober. So I got to my parents' house, they let me live there, they built this basement out for me, cool, that's looking good. I get down there, I make it 3 months with no drinking, right? Pastor Morgan's like, good job, Ange, good job, you're doing good, get a job. Okay, get a job, Ange. So I get a job at the farmer's market in Newcastle. It's only weekends, the farmer's market in Newcastle. So I was like, cool, I can do this because I'm gonna stop drinking, but I can't stop drinking because I start thinking, well, I can drink Monday to Thursday. Nobody will catch me Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be working. I'll be done drinking, you know what I'm saying. You know what we do with alcohol. If you're an alcoholic, you know what I'm doing. And the other part that I got good at was like hiding every kind. So I love those airplane bottles. Oh my God. I was in love with them airplane bottles. So, because I had to hide from my family, because I was like, I'm just going to have a couple sips and they can't possibly know about it or smell my breath. So thus starts that deceitful trickery, that devil and angel, but that devil. So anyway, it goes into like September, October. I'm sneaking drinks downstairs in the basement. I'm working on the weekends. And they're getting ready. I got money now, y'all. I got money because I just sold my house. I paid my debt, so I'm debt-free, but I got some cash. So I was like, well, I think I want a Jeep. You know what I mean? I think I need to get a Jeep, get myself an apartment. This is the delusions that I'm living in. Get myself an apartment and a Jeep. That's what I feel like I want to be the wild child that I am. I'm still not complying myself to this program. I've been deceiving sponsors all along. I've been manipulating sponsors. I used to try, the reason I say I'm controlling, I used to tell my sponsor what I needed to do. I said, you know, I don't need to do step 2 and 3 because I already believe in God. That's what I would say. I said, who ever heard of that? I said, 2 and 3, I could skip that. I was a massage therapist. I told the one sponsor, God bless her, I said, I'm doing my sex inventory. I said, let me just skip. Well, I'll do my sex inventory. I didn't really sleep with the guys that I was massaging, but I was like learning last night about the sex inventory in the Friday night more than alcohol meeting. It was my intentions to manipulate when I was doing the massages. Do you know what I mean? Like I knew how to run. I was, yeah. So, but I told my sponsor at the time, I said, I don't need to do that much. Let me just write one sentence. Manipulated the men verbally when I did the massages. Like, this is what I'm telling my sponsor. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was so manipulative and controlling and anyway, and arrogant, right? So I couldn't find the humility because I hadn't really met and had my relationship that I now have with my God. And let me tell you, so what happened was, it's going into my parents are leaving. I need a car because I got to get to work and back. And I did meet a significant other at this time, and he's telling me, he knows I'm sipping because he can smell my breath. And I said to him, listen, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. He said, no, you're not fine. And we're tripping up into January, and he said, my mom and him are talking, should she have the car? He's like, I don't think you should let her have the car. So you know what I did? I held my family hostage. I said, this is what you'll do. You will give me the car, please, because I'm going to buy that Jeep if you don't give me the car. And they were so like, what do we do with her? What do you do with me? What do you do with me? And as parents are, my mom let me have the car. So in January, you want to see some more craziness, my parents ran a Meals on Wheels route. I'm doing their route for them to show you how good I am. Half drunk, doing the Meals on Wheels, meeting old people on the road, going visiting the old people, giving them their food, half drunk. I mean, the fact that I have not killed somebody or killed myself, that alone is amazing. I deserved to go to jail, right? So anyways, it's January. Just to get to my miracles, I got to tell you what happened. So here I am in January, and it's January 30th, 29th, 30th. They're going to deliver this Jeep to me. I tell them I don't have a license, so I need them to bring the Jeep to me. And also give me off $2,000 on that Jeep. And I'm getting ready to get it delivered, and I said, why don't you wait till Monday? Meanwhile, my significant other says, I think you need to get help again. I said, all right, I'll start an IOP on Monday. This is me telling him what I'm going to do. I'll start an IOP on Monday. That way I can do it Monday to Friday. No one will know I'm drinking again. And it's just sad, man. It's sad. And so here I go. And that day I go to work, and I left my wallet at Wawa. And I go in, and sure enough, my people at work say, you can go get your wallet, Angie. I go to the Wawa, and right there's the liquor store. I go in the liquor store. I load up on liquor. I go drink some. I go back to work. My boss tries to stop me. He knows that he asked me before he hired me, Angie, do you got this? And of course, Angie said she got this. He don't know how alcoholism works. So anyway, he said, let me drive you home. I said, no, let me get an Uber. Nope. I snuck out the back of the farmer's market, went back out and drank some more in front of Delaware Park. And I got on the icy patch, and I careened into someone's front yard. And that was my 6th DUI in my lifetime, my 5th in Delaware. Clearly, I resisted arrest and did not know my BAC. I did not know my BAC. I waited for trial for 2 years. I did not know my BAC until I was going into trial. It was .36. The lawyer said I should not have even been conscious. But when I got arrested, I went into the jail cell, and they forgot to take my belt off. I tried to hang myself in the jail cell and tell the cops what assholes they were. And that's what I was doing in the jail cell. And then they had to take my blood, and I punched the walls and punched. I was out of my mind. And anyway, I remember laying on that concrete thing in the that holding tank you're in, and seeing blood, sweat, and tears like tatted on the bench, and I was like, wow, man. But I'll never forget that night, because them cops were not liking me. Told me I'll be in the jail when my parents are old, whatever. It was really bad. It was bad. So fast forward to I get out of jail, and I'm putting one foot in front of the other. My parents are still in Mexico. I have to find a place to go. I call Pastor Morgan. He says, find a place to go. Now I am humble. Now I am humble. Now I am beat. I'm beat. So I find a place, Miramont, where I actually did sports chair massages like 15 years ago for them for trying to do a recovery run. I couldn't believe God sent Miramont to my brain. I went to Miramont, and this was where I believe I did not have a white light like come out of the sky, but I went in that door 7 days after my incident, and I went in there, and they take you to a waiting room to see if you have COVID, and that is where I surrendered to God. I said, God, listen, I am not I just need you to take this thing out of me, take this black seed out of this cauldron of stuff. I'm done. And I will give you all of me on this earth that I have to serve you and to bring anybody that I can into recovery and into hope and to know that they can do it, because I thought I was a lost cause. My mom was saving my messages. She thought I was going to die. My dad wouldn't look me in the eyes no more. And I just said, please, please take it out of me. And when I served my time at that rehab, I did everything they told me to do. Gorski, okay, let me do Gorski. Let me do the RPT program. Let me do trauma therapy from that time I was molested when I was 7 that I keep not counting. Let me do I need meds? No, I don't need meds, because I'm very hyper, as you can see. But I never took meds because I never wanted to take meds, which is ironic. But I liked alcohol, but not meds. So anyway, I did that treatment at Miramont. And let me tell you, I came out of there, and my mom said, you are not welcome home, sweetie. I said, damn, I know. I'm homeless right now. I'm homeless. I sold my house. So, I'm going into recovery. I said, Mom, I'm begging you from Mexico. Can you let me please pick a sober living house that is respectable before I have to go to jail? Because I knew my next stop was jail. And she said, okay, I'll trust you to come home, get your stuff, go. And I went to Lyman. And in my first year sober, I came right into AA. I went hardcore AA. I didn't lie to my sponsor. I followed the rules. I submitted. I followed directions. And I submitted to God. And I have had a relationship with God like never in my life this time. I talk to him, and I talk to Jesus every day in Jesus Calling, but I talk to God every morning. And as these people have spoken before me, man, your life is different. And in the past, let's see, this happened in obviously so in the last 4 years, I did my time. I just got out in October. I want to share this that I got in jail from this girl. She gave me this. And you can't give Christmas presents in there because you can't use money and whatnot. But I want to just share this gift that she gave me in jail. And I was like the first guy, Brian. They made me the resident manager. I got inmate of the day and stuff like that. I was doing the treatment program. I was like, and God, listen, whoever said God's plotting your path as you go along, when I was in prison, he was plotting my path. My first night there, he had a Bible on I call it Alcatraz. It's like the worst. That's when you go into 7. It's Alcatraz. So anyway, I woke up and there was a Bible. And I was like, why is there a Bible? Maybe the Gideons come in here. But they don't. The Bible is there. My counselor was a pastor in there. I'm telling you, God was with me every step in that journey. But he's like, you will pay that price, girl. You will. And that was okay with me. I just wanted to get it done because I told the counselor, I'm sober now, so you got to get me out of here fast. She's like, what? I was like, no, I've been sober for 2 years waiting to come here. Now I'm ready to get out, and I got stuff to do. I really got stuff to do. And that's how I've been pressed since I've been sober. I am pressed to do good things. I am pressed to help others. I am pressed to teach people you can do it. You can get through. So anyways, let me read this present I got for Christmas. It was Jeremiah 29. She has my name on it and my kids' names on it. And it's 10 to 14. It says, thus says the Lord, I will come to you and fulfill my good promise to bring you back to this place. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and pray to me, and I will listen. When you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. I will be found by you, says the Lord, and I will bring you back from captivity. And that is an amen to that. So I just want to say that I have much love for this program. I have I give it all to God, and I'm grateful to have met Zach and Jimmy. I also, I finally got out in September. Had to have a bunionectomy, so I did that first. But after that, I went back to my old job at Marshall's. But the whole time I had to get my license back because I've been going all these years with no license. And people have been there for me. My friends have been there for me. My sponsor's been there for me. Man, not having a license for this, I deserved it. But it's getting rides is no fun. And you're always in someone's energy. All the time in someone else's energy. So anyway, you got to try to go with it and be humble, which I am, and just sit through it. But anyway, so I said, when I got out, I said to the guy that you call for the DUI classes, he's like, well, I can get you in January. I said, sir, that's not going to work. He said, what? I said, I got to get sooner than January. I'm sober. He's like, what? I was like, I need to get in sooner than January. I got to get driving because I got to get sober. Anyway, so I did get in the class. I pressed. I pray about everything. And I'm telling you, when you pray, God's moving mountains, man. So I got my license back in March, which I cannot believe. A conditional one, I got the blow and go. Got the blow and go. I don't care. I love it. Go. All hail to the blow and go. Man, but I can drive myself. I got some freedom. But the main thing of freedom I got is my mind back. I got my mind, I got my mind back. I am free from alcohol. I mean, I am free. And I do not take it. I get in the car with my son, He looks at me, I said, buddy, we can drive ourselves. Can you believe this? And he's like so excited to have a sober mom. And, you know, I told my oldest son one time, I said, oh, you know, I wasn't bad like them criminals, like stealing and stuff. He goes, what? Mom, you stole my heart, man. You stole my, you know what I mean? He said, you stole, like, you made me being afraid. You stole my emotions, Mom. And I was like, that is profound, out of the mouth of children. God. So, like, I have made amends. I am still making amends. I am living my amends. And that's why I can never be the guy that I saw at the other, you know, speaker jam, like laughing and joking yet, because I'm just not there yet, because I am seriously living my amends with my family. And my mom just told me today, like, I keep finding out things. She's like, Angie, me and your dad I was going to get into an apartment, because he gave hope on me. He gave up hope on me. So to have my dad look me in the eyes now is amazing. And I'm just happy to be living my amends. And I guess I think that's about it, y'all. That's all I got. Thanks. I'm ready to live my purpose with no shade being thrown on it.